Let's talk about the furry comic Ramen Wolf and Curry Tiger. Hailing from the land of the rising sun, it stands as a humble 2 volumes of manga and was released in 2022. I passed it a number of times at my local Barnes & Nobles and finally decided to pick it up the other day. All you comic lovers know that manga can be a pretty expensive habit, but a 2 volume series wasn't gonna break the bank anytime soon, so I was all in. We join our title characters to find out that Ramen Wolf and Curry Tiger are what you call foodies. That is, people that see food as a hobby that needs to be experienced and enjoyed with lots of variety and locations and stuff. I will not use their proper Japanese names because I refuse to butcher a beautiful foreign language. Ramen Wolf is always talking about the next ramen shop that they're going to be visiting, and Curry Tiger is often along for the ride. The wolf is bigger, fatter, more enthusiastic of the two, and often picks their destinations based on what exotic ingredients they use. Exotic flavors and choices are a very big deal in Japan when it comes to ramen, so there's an entire subculture that's sprung up around it. From there, we follow a slice of life comic that is obsessed with the next big meal, the next eating too much punchline, and occasionally seeing other characters that our dynamic duo orbits. Before you ask, no, this is a platonic friendship and not a romance, but it is a strong friendship. In my experience, very few things unite absolutely everyone. Sleep, death, sex, and yes, food. So finding something positive to bond over is a very good foundation for a friendship. Curry Tiger suffers from a bit of past trauma involving his older brother. His older brother was studying hard to become a doctor and just didn't have much time for him anymore, not even much to really share a meal with him, and the two drifted apart. While it is understandable, being a doctor is a huge thing to study for, it did leave Curry Tiger very lonely as a child, and it was clear not all of his needs were met while his brother was soaring to higher and higher scholarly heights. I don't want to give away too much of the story, there's only 2 volumes here, but there's not really a lot to talk about. The comic is a slice of life friendship with no real antagonists, no plot-related problems, and not really a lot to say, if you know what I mean. I expected to see a snooty rival foodie pop up, or maybe an antagonistic chef, or something, food-related, but also plot-relevant, and it just didn't happen. And weirdly enough, when I look a little bit closer, this comic is kind of strange, and it took me a while to really put my talent on why. It might be because I've reviewed dozens of other furry comics and things, and I'm only picking at the details, but there's a lot of panels in this comic where the speech balloons cover up the speaker's face. There's backgrounds that look unfinished or even traced, and while I'm not officially accusing anybody of anything, it is noticeable in a lot of places. Draw your character smaller so the speech bubble fits. Use a ruler to finish out the straight lines of your backgrounds. This was published and released internationally in multiple languages, and it just comes across as kinda shoddy. I get that everyone has their own art style and stuff, but this just feels like weird mistakes that didn't get caught during the final edit of the books themselves. I'm really scratching my head on this one. At the end of the day, Ramen Wolf and Curry Tiger is a cute for cuteness sake sort of story, but it's poorly arranged, lacks any sort of meaningful plot, and doesn't seem to have much of anything going on to justify its existence. They don't really have any rivals, or solve any big problems, reach any kind of self-actualization, or have any big turns in their lives. They're just a couple of guys trying out a bunch of eateries while life happens around them. It's hardly worth the $30 price tag for both volumes, I gotta tell you. So, should you read Ramen Wolf and Curry Tiger? No, not really. There's better stuff out there. There's more focused stuff, and most comics try to remember to have a strong plot, even when they're as short as 2 volumes of manga. Yes, Curry Tiger has baggage about his brother and drifting apart because of all of his studying and then moving out to be a successful doctor, but that's just not enough to carry the story. It doesn't justify the comic's existence. I don't know what I was expecting with a title like this, but even slice of life comics are supposed to have a little bit of drama or something in them. So I guess I'll stop at this moment and extend a very real apology to Duncan and Eddie. Perhaps I treated you too harshly. Ramen Wolf and Curry Tiger isn't worth reading. It's bland, it bears no heart, no meaningful plot, and quite frankly has a lot of weird stuff going on in the art department. I'd say just give it a pass. Save your money. Read Duncan and Eddie. It's just not really worth it. See you later.